And we are following some breaking news of shooting in Escondido. This happened just after 4 this morning near Grand and Elm. We did speak to San Diego police. They tell us they are taking over this investigation, but they did not provide any more information on what exactly happened. Again, working to gather more information about this shooting. We'll bring you the latest as we get those details. It is 6 a.m. on this Tuesday. Thanks for being here. I'm Eric Connors.
And I'm Vanessa Paz. Let's go ahead and get a check on your forecast as you get ready for the day. It's pretty brisk out, folks. Some areas waking up anywhere between 5 to 10 degrees colder than the same time yesterday. So grab that jacket. I said that yesterday, but today it's even colder. So grab that jacket, pack on those layers if maybe you're going for that morning jog or getting the kids ready for school. All right, sun will fully light up the sky here in about 45 minutes. Sun will set just after 5:15 later on this evening. This is a live look from one of our La Jolla sky cams facing east. And the reason why we're seeing such cooling is because of those clear skies. So it's leading to a brisk start. It will also lead to rapid warming once that sun fully starts to rise here. Current temperatures right now, we're seeing scattered 30s and 40s and even some 50s across the coastal spots. We are going to warm up, though. We're talking about another gorgeous day on tap. Lots of 70s to go around for the inland spots. We'll break it all down in just a few minutes. All right, 6:01 is the time. Let's go ahead and switch gears and see what's happening outside on your freeways. This is the 5 in both directions right at Old Town Ave. Right side of your screen is that northbound drive as folks make their way into the Mission Bay area on your Bay Park, and this is the 15 in both directions right at Poway Road. Right side of your screen is that southbound drive headed towards Miramar and Mira Mesa. No major issues coming out of the North County, both out of Oceanside at Escondido. Really smooth drives this morning, and it looks like we're still at average speeds coming in from Santia as well as La Mesa. Some minor brake tapping. This is per usual, though, through the mile of cars, and then we're tapping the brakes after the 94 on the 805 once you make your way down that hill towards Mission Valley.
New this morning, an hours-long SWAT standoff in Spring Valley is now over. The San Diego Sheriff's Office says one person was taken into custody just after midnight. A firearm was also recovered. San Diego Sheriff's Office says deputies got a call to this property on Austin Drive just after 5:30 p.m. yesterday about a man showing off a weapon in a threatening manner. Investigators say he ran out of the property when deputies approached him and ordered him to surrender. Sheriff's deputies say no one was hurt. Well, this just in here, a federal judge in Minnesota says Todd Lyons, the acting director of ICE, must appear in court on Friday over the handling of bond hearings for immigrants who are detained.
This comes as sources say Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino and some agents will leave Minneapolis as soon as today. Bovino is expected to return to his post in El Centro and retire soon. President Trump is designating his so-called border czar, Tom Homan, to oversee operations and report directly to him. This comes 3 days after a federal agent shot and killed 37-year-old ICU nurse Alex Preddy.
People are losing faith that the federal government can be capable of enforcing federal law and doing it professionally and without widespread constitutional violations.
Both Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey say they spoke with President Trump yesterday about reducing the federal presence in the state. Frey says he plans to, quote, discuss next steps with Homan today. And this morning, San Diego's Democratic Congress members are calling for the impeachment of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. They will also discuss a proposed bill from Representative Juan Vargas called the, quote, Stop Excessive Force in Immigration Act. Now, this comes as some state lawmakers call on Noem to resign. Yesterday, officials criticized recent ICE raids and vowed to strengthen California's sanctuary protections while urging Congress to reject new funding for ICE.
Vote to give him any more of our money.
To move Congress to do their job. And if that means shutting down the federal government, then so be it. Shut it down.
Both California Senators Adam Schiff and Alex Padilla have said they would vote against funding DHS and ICE, potentially leading to another partial government shutdown.
This morning, a school employee is under arrest accused of sexual abuse of a minor. The Sheriff's Department says they began investigating allegations in September and arrested 55-year-old Kent Cable this past Sunday. Right now, there's no information about the victim. Authorities say Cable is employed by the Lakeside Union School District in a non-teaching role. We reached out to the district and were told more information will be released this morning. We'll keep you posted here. Later this morning, the San Diego City Council set to consider a proposal to offer Sunday residential permits for the downtown, uptown, and mid-city parking meter zones.
Yeah, the metered street parking took effect just last month. CBS 8's Chris Grow live near Balboa Park with some of those concerns that have been brought up by people who live in this area. I know the voices have been pretty strong out there. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, and we should clarify, while some people may be hearing the idea of a permit for those 3 parking zones and think, okay, I can get 1 day for free, this will still cost you. It will still cost cheaper than parking and paying the meter every Sunday, but it still won't be free. Something that residents feel, again, that all of these new rules are throwing them for a loop, especially because parking is so hard to find. Here's what one person had to tell us who lives here at these apartments.
To move our cars every 4 hours, 7 days a week, from 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening.
Yeah, it's Manuel Lugo who lives here at the Monticello apartments. Let's go through the metered parking that's around this area. It costs about $2.50 an hour with a 4-hour max with a 12-hour enforcement period from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So if you were to keep feeding the meter, moving your car every 4 hours during that 12-hour span, it would cost you about $30 a day. Well, this proposal that city council members are going to be looking at today is a parking permit for Sundays in the downtown, uptown, and mid-city zones. It would cost more than $140 a year, which of course would be cheaper than $30 every Sunday for the entire year. But Lugo, the man that you heard from there, said he's reached out to Councilmember Whitburn's office about a separate permit for daily parking for residents to try to give them a break if they're able to establish that they live in this area, and that just getting a Sunday permit simply won't be enough for them. Unfortunately, though, he says he has not heard back as of yet. Today's meeting, again, they will consider this permit here for Sunday. Of course, we'll have to see exactly how that discussion and potential vote there shapes up. Eric and Vanessa.
Chris, thank you. This morning, at least 30 deaths are being reported in states affected by severe cold, while the danger of frigid cold and ice remains. Cold weather advisories are in effect from Montana to the Florida Panhandle. In Georgia, hundreds of thousands of people are without power. Tree limbs and power lines in parts of Mississippi are crusted in ice, and officials warn it could take days to restore power. They're still going through it. Through much of the country here, Vanessa.
Yeah, although the worst of the storm is over, we talk about the rain, the ice, the sleet, the snow, all of that is passing slowly but surely, but now they're just left with that lingering cold Arctic air. And as you just mentioned, it has triggered several cold weather advisories, freeze warnings, extreme cold warnings, taking up much of the state, especially when we talk about the southeast and northeast quadrant. And the northeast quadrant still expecting some snow, another snowstorm later on this weekend. So unfortunately, it looks like conditions not quite letting up just yet, but they will feel some relief the more we progress into the work week. All right, high temperatures. These are the warmest temperatures that these areas are going to see today. We're still at a -8 for spots like Minneapolis, sub-freezing for spots like Lincoln, Nebraska, 19 in St. Louis, 28 in Nashville, Tennessee, 18 degrees in Washington. And then when we take a look at downtown San Diego for today's highs, I mean, we are seeing some of the warmest temperatures for us here in San Diego in comparison to the rest of the country. So this is one of those days, one of those weeks where we can certainly have gratitude for where we live. All right, here's a live look from our Mount San Miguel West camera facing west towards the Sweetwater Reservoir. Looks like the sun has yet to light up the sky. It will do so in about 35 minutes or so. It's a brisk start to the day, so make sure that you're layering up before you head out the door. We're seeing plenty of 30s and 40s out there. We will eventually thaw out into the 70s this afternoon. It's going to be another gorgeous day, so if I were you, I would take advantage. Maybe take that lunch outside, or if you have some time to spare during your work hours, you take a walk outdoors. All right, let's go ahead and switch gears and see what's happening outside on your freeways. Here's the 15 in both directions right at Poway Road. That's at Southbound Drive as you exit Poway and head towards Miramar and Mira Mesa. And this is what it looks like on the 5. It's still really dark and early, and the drives are fairly quiet. Always happy to report that. Right now we're at average speeds coming in from Oceanside as well as Escondido. Nothing to really talk about coming in from the East County out of Santee as well as La Mesa. We're at 65, 70 mile per hour speeds or so. And here's what it looks like for those northbound drives. Some light brake tapping coming in from Chula Vista, making your way towards National City on the 5, but nothing that'll set you back too much. And we're tapping the brakes on the 805 starting at the 15 as you make your way towards Mission Valley. Travel times are still in the green. This is what we'd love to see, about 10 to 15 minutes right now. Not much to talk about coming in from the East County, still about 5 to 7 minutes for all of those westbound drives. And here's what it looks like coming in from the North County, headed southbound. All right, 6:10 is the time. Let's go ahead and pull up those border wait times quickly and showcase what we're seeing in terms of numbers. As you cross from San Ysidro's port of entry, it'll take you about an hour and a half, a little less than that by about 5 minutes, but pretty comparable if you're crossing in from Otay Mesa this morning.